Yeah, so I want to talk about seeing people the way a CEO would see people, right? Think about this came to me just observing the owner, the CEO, so to speak, of the um, enterprise that I am involved with. And you watch their eyes, watch how they interact with people. You you notice that they're looking at people in a different way. At least I've noticed that. Um, the average person notices things a certain way. Those of us who strive for a higher way of thinking, higher standards, uh, supernatural knowledge, see beyond. I always say my superpower is being clairvoyant, seeing beyond the senses, right? Anyway, but it's not about me, it's just my observation, my experience. Um, the average person might notice someone, they might say they seem nice, right? The CEO is thinking beyond the surface. They're running mental simulations, if you will. They're thinking, if this person was blindsided, how would they react? If everything fell apart tomorrow, would they freeze, fight, or find a way through? That's the type of things a CEO thinks about when they're analyzing their people, anybody around them. Reading people like a CEO means you're not just looking at them um, for who they are in a certain setting, in calm waters. You're assessing who they'll be in the storm. That's why body language, eye contact, reactions to little curveballs, all that matters. A CEO might purposely drop an unexpected question in a meeting just to see if you get rattled or if you can recalibrate. It's Murphy's Law in leadership. Whatever can happen will happen. And when it does, the only thing that matters is the type of person standing in the fire. That's what a CEO is reading. That's what they're thinking. Is your resilience or your instincts? Do you have the ability to adapt? It's the type of thinking that I know CEOs have. Um, the, read the 48 Laws of Power mindset. Was law number one: never outshine the master. A CEO will test you to know how, if you know how to respect hierarchy while being able to still contribute value. That's a very noteworthy quality. If you can't read power dynamics, if you don't understand politics, I always talk about politics, you're a liability. You put yourself at a disadvantage. The CEO wants to know this about their management team and so forth, the board of directors. And that ties into another law. Uh, I know another law, 48 laws of power. I don't know what I'm talking. Why it came to me talking about 48 laws of power, but yeah, I mean power, CEO. Um, know who you're dealing with. The way CEOs think, the way bosses think, we know that every personality has a trigger. And again, are you the type to fold, to get defensive when you're challenged? Or are you the type that digs in and that stays dangerous? They're watching for that telltale signs. Someone who thinks like that, right? Um, another law talks about every person has a. It's kind of like the other law. Know who you're dealing with. This other law talks about how every person has uh, a point break, a point of, a pressure point. So, again, it's watching how you flinch when pressed. Just those subtle nuances in the body language. Um, Leaders, bosses, CEOs are going to catch that. Make a mental note of that. Everything is everything is calculated. It really is. In the CEO's mind. Master the art of timing. Right? So you file things away. The CEO, a boss, a leader, a king has the wisdom to, because that is the definition of wisdom, being able to recognize the difference in each moment, discern the difference in each moment, and act accordingly and apply certain knowledge, restraint, whatever have you. Master the art of timing. It's another of the 48 laws. When you speak up, when you stay silent, how you react under stress. I can't emphasize it enough. That tells a CEO if you're someone who can sense the right moment, seize the moment. Read all through history, read great biographies. There's a fulcrum point for so many of these leaders to where they knew it was their time. Their time. Don't be blind to it. Now, an abundance mind state will show us that we may miss a time. I missed some moments that were possibly my time. We could debate on that, but it's a muscle that you exercise um, to exercise wisdom, and you'll know when it's time to sense the moment. When you seize the moment, sense the moment and seize the moment. But then, anyway, at the end of the day, CEOs, leaders, kings don't just read people to figure out if they like you. The average person is driven by feelings. Do I like this person? A leader is neutral in that manner. They're calculating how much of my time, my energy, my attention, resources should I invest in this person. Okay, so always calculating the return on investment, because every relationship is either an asset or a liability at its basic core. That's how you read people like a boss, like a king, not just for people for who they are now, but for who they'll be when the unpredictable happens, because it will happen. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Peace and blessings.